Yo, what is up, Yugi fam? I have another Beetrooper Battlewasp video for you guys today. Today we made top 4. We took this deck to locals, very uncertain of how it would perform, but I could not be happier. Well, I could be happier if I got first place, but unfortunately we did have one loss today. It was 4 rounds. Round 1, Dragon Link, I won that, and round 2 was against Eldritch Evil Twin. I managed to get that. Round 3 was our only loss against Drytron. We took it to game 3, didn't draw any of our side deck cards. We went second, and unfortunately, we just watched our opponent build the board, and we lost. And then the last round was against Chaos Thunder Dragon. That deck is awesome, but still managed to take that 2-0. So we ended up with a record of X-1, 4 rounds. It was awesome. The deck shined. The games that I did lose, I lost because I drew like 3 Scout Buggy, 3 Scale Bomber, like just almost unplayable hands. But overall, the deck is consistent. It's so powerful. Can easily can break boards, OTK, build resources. Great, card management. It's so good. It was awesome. It was so much fun to play. And aren't these oversleeves just beautiful? These are from Imperium Duelist. Before you guys ask, because I know you guys will ask in the comment section. So Imperium Duelist, I believe they're currently sold out. So you definitely want to keep a lookout for if they do restock. I did catch this at this during the second wave, so I actually missed it the first time. But then, because it was too late by the time I saw these, and I fell in love with them. I was like, wow, these look really, really good. And I managed to snag them during the second wave. So keep an eye out if they do have a third wave. Imperium Duelist. Not affiliated or anything, but just awesome stuff. So yeah, I'll take you guys through the main deck. I made some changes in the main and some changes in the extra deck as well. So yeah, let's get right into it. So for the Beetroopers, we have 3 Scout Buggy, we have 3 Scale Bomber, and then 2 Sting Lancer. So these are still the same. I still like this card at 3. I want to open him up. He gets you another body, and in this deck, you want to be able to swarm the field with monsters, and that's how you get your combo going to get Pico and then to get Resonance Insect. You just want to have insects. You want to have insects on the field. That's how you get your combo started. So that's why we max out on these 2. Scale Bomb is just an awesome extender because it helps you with the it helps you chain block. So you could like chain block your Scout Buggy or your Sting, the Poison, which is awesome. This guy's awesome. Great hand trap too. He's not always like the best in against every matchup, but it's cool that if you hard draw this card and they hand trap you, it'll be live because you could just like shuffle insect back, shuffle your opponent's hand trap back into their deck, or not shuffle. I'm sorry, I keep thinking it's shuffle, but you place him at the bottom of the decks, and then on summon he'll get you the search. Just awesome card. Like it's great that he's a big body too because he allows you to like push for game too. So just awesome card. That is it for the Beetroopers. Moving on, we have my favorite card in the whole deck, in the main deck, is definitely Sting the Poison. Sting the Poison puts in so much work. He's your searcher, and he's actually part of your end board. Not all the time, but when you open him up, he's part of your end board most of the time. So you'll like summon him during your opponent's turn, and then he'll be part of your disruptions, and he'll also get you the follow-up. It's just so good to have access to this card. This card's definitely like your best starter for sure. We have 3 Bullseye, great extender. That burn is definitely very relevant. It's what actually won me the match in my final match against Chaos Thunder. So what I did was I burned him for 200, and then he was at 55 before that, and it took him down to 53. And when I went up to access code's 53. So then I attacked for game. So it's funny, but it's super relevant. Then 2 Twin Bow. I feel like 2 is okay. I might want to bump this up to 3 actually because he's just cool to have, especially like if you get Nibiru, you could still summon him because you don't need to control an insect. Or any cards, you'll just be locked into insects for the rest of the turn. But definitely a very good extender for sure. One of my other favorite, I think he's like the second he's probably my second favorite Battlewasp for sure. Also in the last round, this guy shined for sure because I actually crashed him into a monster to summon Sting from the deck, and then Sting got me Bullseye, and that actually gave me enough resources to work with to be able to build a board and play the grind game. Is because of this card. This card got me. It actually, oh my god, this card is actually amazing because it got me Goki Pole from the graveyard, and then I was able to trigger Goki Pole and still get the search. Man, because Goki Pole, you know, when he leaves the field, when he's sent to the grave, he searches. We have 3 Resonance Insect. This card's awesome. Shoutouts to Jojo, one of my boys. Thank you so much for hooking me up with these cards. I don't have to proxy them anymore. So this card is absolutely broken. If you've seen deck profiles for Beetroopers, I can definitely stand behind this card and agree with everybody that speaks highly of this card in their Beetrooper deck profiles, because this card's absolutely busted. You abuse this card, especially when you hard draw it, you normal summon it, you link off with it, and then later on in the combo you'll equip the other copy or a second copy, and you'll just get more searches and just load your graveyard up when it gets banished. When it gets banished, it foolish as anything. So let's move on to the other cards, other extenders. We have 2 Primitive Butterfly. This card's actually this card's decent. I mean, it's like you control no monsters, you special summon it. A really cool thing came up today where I had this on the field. I linked into the Link 2 Armor Horn, and then I got hit with Solemn Strike. And then on resolution, I activated the effect of Resonance Insect to search a primitive. And because I didn't control any monsters, I just specialed it. It was really cool. So yeah, just definitely just a decent, generic, good extender. For insects, we have Doomdozer. This card's amazing because it triggers off your Resonance Insect, and it's 2800. 2800. So this card in access code, I keep OTKing with access code because of this card, because I search it, and then this in access code is 8100, which is just awesome. For the other one-ofs, we have, this is one of the new changes. So I cut Worm Warrior down to 2. It's just good to be able to search this card. If you draw it, it's decent because it'll also trigger Resonance Insect. But you also want to have, you don't want to open like multiples. Obviously, I know like the chances are low, but this is definitely a card you'd rather be searching, or you could just like you draw it. It's like sometimes when it could be a decent extender, but it's definitely not super high impact. So I definitely wouldn't risk running this at 2. I would just rather run like Twin Bow, like an extra copy of Twin Bow or something else, just because it does require graveyard setup. So like sometimes you don't want to banish your resources in grave. Sometimes you want to save that for your Armor Horn. You know, it kind of conflicts. So that's why you just want the 1, because you still want to be able to search it to be able to like link climb into like your utility card, your board breaker cards like Unicorn, Access Code, stuff like that. For another change, Retaliating Sea, I put 1 in the deck. I think this card, having access to this card is pretty important, because when you search it against the matchups that you know, it puts in a lot of work, it really puts you ahead of the game, because you'll just summon it, it'll serve as an extender for you, and then it'll like stun the opponent, and then during your turn you'll just link it off and get a search, or so and get a search. So it'll serve as an extender and a search as well. Another change is Kamungus. I added 1 Kamungus, the Sticky String Kaiju, because you want to have a searchable out for so many things, and going second, if you draw this card, it's really good. So this is what allowed me to out the Dragoon in one of my matchups, and it's just so cool to have a searchable out to something, especially against monsters that can't be targeted, destroyed, or are unaffected altogether. Like monsters that are unaffected are extremely troublesome, and you want to have something to give them, a little going away present. And then we have Goki Pole, and I still played the Goki Boar. This combo is amazing. Just to be able to add a normal monster and get that pop is really good. Goki Pole is so busted, man. It's so busted. It almost makes me want to play it at 2, but if I play it at 2, it becomes another normal summon. I don't really like that. I'd rather just Foolish this off Resonance, or like Foolish Burial. Or if I do hard draw it, I could just normal summon it and not like risk drawing another copy. I think it's good at 1 for sure. So that is it for the monster lineup. Moving on to the spells, we have 3 Lightning Storm. I did play this today. I thought it was great. It was a great top deck, just as I anticipated. You want to have cards that are not that are high impact and that aren't bricks. So like if this was say like an Ash Blossom and I top decked it, you need, man, in this deck you want to have as many resources that you could work with as possible. So if you are gonna top deck into something, it better be like a board breaker, or like a card that's high impact, or a combo starter, something. But like an Ash, it's, I mean, I guess you could just discard Ash, but it just feels so bad because Ash does play into tactics, so that's another reason that I didn't want to play the card. What's crazy is that multiple times in the Drytron matchup, he did have tactics, and I just didn't play into it because I only had like Imperm and this card. I didn't main deck Ash, so I thought that was pretty cool that because I didn't play Ash Blossom or Veiler, stuff like that, that I didn't play into cards like tactics or anything like that. So and I didn't risk top decking something that would be dead otherwise. For the 1-ofs, we have Beetrooper Formation. We have 1 Multiplication Advance. I think this card at 1 is okay. I don't think you need to play multiples. It's a 2 for 2. It's nothing high impact. This card's actually pretty decent when you draw it. When you hard draw this card, it actually puts in a work, especially when you get in a Beerud. Like, you could just go, okay, activate, summon back my Beetrooper, activate Armor Horn, go into Link 3, go into, like, Seraphim. Then Seraphim will be able to, like, revive something next turn, like a Sting. And, yeah, it just pretty decent. This is a 2 for 2 because you have to send an insect and then you get 2 tokens, so you're not really gaining any crazy advantage off this card. It's just really good to have one, just access to one, just because it does have a cool interaction with Resonance Insect, because you normal summon Resonance and then you activate this, send the Resonance, get 2 tokens, then trigger Resonance to like search like a Doom Dozer or like a Sting or whatever. So yeah, 1 is cool. Monster Reborn, just extender really. Foolish Burial is awesome. Foolish Burial, when you Foolish the Goki Pole, you Foolish this card, and then this card gets you Rapid Fire, right? So Foolish, you Foolish this searches Rapid Fire, normal Rapid Fire, get Goki Pole. So Foolish alone gets you 2 bodies, which is amazing. It's just really good that Foolish can do that. Or like going second, you Foolish this, and then you search the this, and then you summon it, and then you pop something. So Foolish can also act as like a board breaking card. In that scenario as well. So I definitely like this card. I would consider playing Gold Sark as well. I know that card also serves the same purpose. So I might, you know, make some other changes to the deck. I definitely think that this probably isn't the final list. I'm definitely happy with the changes that I did make because they did come up, all of them. But, you know, version 3 will probably come soon after. But yeah, this version though is definitely amazing. I think like the deck definitely performed very well. Again, the games that I did lose, I just lost because I mean I drew 3 Scout Buggy. I didn't draw like, you know, side deck stuff. I mean it wasn't really a big deal, but I just want to show you. I just want to let you guys know that the deck really is like it's good. It has something special going for it. It's almost there. Depending on what other support we get, it's like right there. It's definitely playable, definitely competitive in my opinion. Oh, that is it for the spells. Let's move on to the traps. We have the only hand trap I run, and it's an actual trap, which is funny, but it doesn't run into tactics again, and it's also a good top deck. So if you top deck this, you can still like negate like an IP or something like that, or an Appaloosa. So the Appaloosa is troublesome. Man, Appaloosa for 3 or like 4 negates is definitely troublesome. So this and Lightning Storm are just 6 good going second cards and great top decks because they both shut off Appaloosa, which is just amazing. And don't play into tactics. I sound like a broken record. I know I said that like 100 times, but again, in a deck that's not really considered meta, you don't want to be at a disadvantage in any way, if that makes any sense. Counter Trap is great. Even when you draw this card, it's pretty decent because you discard it off Pico, and then during the end phase, you'll just set it back. So it serves as discard fodder if you hard draw it, and it'll just set itself back, which is great. It sucks still that it just negates monster FX, but I guess, you know, I'd rather have like a monster, a counter trap, a searchable counter trap that negates, that's decent and resets itself, than nothing at all. So definitely an awesome card nonetheless. And then lastly is IO. IO is super good because like most of your spells you don't really care about, or you've already used them, and it's like an auto win against so many matchups. That is it for the main deck. It's 40 cards, and yeah, moving on to the extra deck. Extra deck, we have 3 Armor Horn. I think this card you can definitely cut down to 2. Don't have to really necessarily play it at 3. 3 never comes up. Probably does very rarely, just never has for me. I could possibly play 3 Pico and 2 Armor Horn instead. But again, I'm not sure like how often 3 Pico is actually going to come up. So one card is there's definitely wiggle room. So if you guys have any suggestions at all, please comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think would be a good idea to play in the deck. Pico is amazing. She's by far the best extra deck monster for sure. Because she gets you to resonance. She definitely gets your combo started. So she gets you searches. She gets you searches, and she shuffles back all your one-ofs like Goki Boar, Goki Pull, Rapid Fire, Worm Warrior, extra deck monsters as well, like one of extra deck monsters. And just gets you that draw 1. What's crazy is that the draw 1 is relevant when you're trying to pick apart your opponent's board, because you start to link up into cards like Unicorn, Nightmare Phoenix, and you're discarding cards. So when she gets you that +1, that discard fodder, it becomes so relevant. So it's just so awesome that she shuffles back your resources, so that way you're able to play the grind game with cards like Goki Pole and Rapid Fire, because those cards are amazing, especially mid to late game. Rapid Fire puts in so much work. So when I can continuously recycle that card, it makes a huge difference, especially when it comes to the grind game. It just amazing card. I can't say enough good things about it for sure. For the one-ofs, we have Shinobi Insect. It comes up like all the time, especially when you're trying to like link off like your Beetrooper Armor Horn or your Atlas, so you're not locked into insects. So you can just like link up into stuff like cards like Nightmare Unicorn. So definitely play the one of Shinobi Insect for sure. For the other link too, we have Nightmare Phoenix. I think this is definitely a mandatory card. You want to have back row removal in the form of Phoenix, because it's very generic, and you want that utility in your extra deck. You definitely don't want to get stuck because you didn't play this card. 2 Seraphim, I play 2 because I'll make 1 sometimes during the combo, and then special summon during my opponent's turn, and then during the following turn, if this card's if I need access to a second one to be able to link up into like access code, and clear the Beetrooper cards, because like cards like Scout Buggy, Armor Horn, Atlas, I want to have access to a second one. So I think a second one is safe. I feel like you should play a second one just in case. For the other link 3, we have Nightmare Unicorn. Same idea as Phoenix. You want to have access to these cards that are board breakers. Unicorn more than Phoenix, because Unicorn can spin back anything, and it's a link 3 that allows you to just like Seraphim, just link up into access code much easier. And it's really cool because we have like a lot of different we have like 3 or 4 different attributes. So like wind, dark, and with Phoenix you have fire as well, and earth as well. So for the link 4s, we have Big Daddy Atlas. Atlas is a monster. He's a beast. Can't be targeted. Can't be destroyed while he has 3,000 or less attack. Tutors any Beetrooper main deck monster from the deck. So it gets you like Scout Buggy and Sting Lancer, Scale Bomber, whatever you need. What's also cool is that you could summon Sting Lancer. Sting Lancer searches you the field spell, and then the field spell can just bring this back. Yeah, you lose 3k, but your counter trap is at least going to be live, plus you have Sting Lancer, so I thought that's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely an awesome card. 2, I think, is the correct number. We have access code. I feel like this is another necessary card in the deck, just because you want to have a card that can just break your opponent's board, and 5,300 be able to just attack for a game, just clear the game, finish the game, move on to game 2. So definitely want to have access to access code for sure. For the other, for the new addition in the extra deck, it's 1 Zeroboros. Zeroboros is an absolute beast. I definitely recommend that you guys test this out for yourself. This card came up last round against Thunders when I knew that I couldn't like finish the game because I Dark Rulered So I dark rulered, but I didn't have enough resources to like go unicorn and spin something, and then access code in that scenario wouldn't have done much really. So I needed to banish everything because he had the light charmer, and the light charmer, when it gets destroyed, he gets a search. So I needed to clear that card without, you know, destroying it. So I summoned Zeroboros, banished Titan, banished IP, banished not IP, banished the Verte, banished the Charmer, and it was just awesome because it allowed me to play the grind game, because this card keeps going back every single standby phase, which is amazing because it forces your opponent to play around it. They have to like make these like very, very safe plays, and when they make these safe plays, they're usually a bit more conservative. So because they're conservative, you're able to play more aggressively. And yeah, this card was awesome. I had to trigger it during my opponent's turn. Like I had to force trigger it, and then be able to like link, because it would get in the way of me trying to go for game. So I had to like trigger it myself, banish everything, and then summon like access code and then attack for game. Which was really good. Last card in the extra deck is Cicada. Cicada definitely shined today because Cicada got me Sting multiple times, which got me a follow-up and 2 interruptions. So Cicada is 1 interruption, and then it brings Sting the Poison, and then Sting the Poison is another interruption for monster negates, and it also searches you an extender for next turn. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, guys, let me know what you guys think about Beetroopers. If you've tested it out for yourself, let me know you know, your thoughts, any tips that you might have for me. Please give them to me. Comment in the comment section. If you guys do enjoy videos like this, my content, please consider subscribing and liking the video, because it does motivate me for sure. And I've been getting a lot of subscribers. Well, not like, I mean, it's not like anything insane, but to me, you know, I have seen a pretty consistent growth, and it makes me so happy because it means that I am possibly doing something right, which motivates me to post more often. And I love this game. I love this game, and I love like bringing these ideas. What's crazy, I forgot to mention something. We had 3 Beetrooper players today. 3 Beetrooper players. I think we had anywhere from 16 to 20 players. I didn't count. I know it was 4 rounds. So by the end of the 4th round, there was 3 undefeateds. So I'm not sure if we had like anywhere from 16 to 20. Definitely, probably a little less than 20. But it was a good turnout. It was a good turnout, and 3 Beetrooper players. So this deck is definitely gaining popularity for sure. And I don't blame anybody for like, this deck is fire, man. This deck is just, it's so much fun, and it's fresh. It's something different, and it's so cool that Beetroopers just brought insects together. Like it reminds me of what Rockets did for dragons, when dragons weren't really seeing play. And then once the rocket cards came out, and you know, it just came together, just like, I feel like that's what Beetroopers did for insects. Guys, thank you again and again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and peace.